All is now set for the inauguration of a section of the National Assembly. To this end, the leadership of the two chambers of the National Assembly will emerge after the inauguration. The 8th section of the National Assembly is made up of 469 members in both Senate and House of Representatives chambers. The Senate is comprised of 109 members and House of Representatives is made up of 360 members. The new National Assembly members are largely elected on the platform of All Progressive Congress and People's Democratic Party. In the new Senate, All Progressive Congress has 61 senators, while People's Democratic Party has 48 senators. As the both chambers will be inaugurated tomorrow, top on the agenda is the election of the Senate President, Speaker, and other principal officers that will launch the 8th section of the National Assembly into the next political dispensation. In the Senate, there are two top contenders, Senator Bukola Saraki of Kwara State from the north central part of the country, and Senator Ahmed Lawal of Yobe State from the northeast of the country. Before now, campaign for the office of the Senate President have been intensified by the two contestants. Senator Bukola Saraki believes he had what it takes to lead the Senate.
I want you to live here with the view of whether we're talking about the issue of Senate President, let us talk about who can do it, who has the capacity, who can lead us in doing it, who can make it possible to work with the government in addressing the challenges ahead, particularly now that the challenges are even tougher now because we are coming in at a very difficult time. It's not a time now that we can take chances and just say, okay, you go and try it, or you go and, it's not going to be possible. Again, I want you to remember today, because some of these things I say, I'm so confident on these issues because these are facts. Let's take sentiments out of the issues.
Senator Saraki said cross-section of senators have endorsed his candidacy.
That ends at 34. This is not, it's elected to the party chairman now. So if they say at 37, you say 34 to 37, 71. Let them send this 37. Okay. Or show you like this, yes, and send it to the chairman. This is not, these are names. This is not fake.
On his part, Senator Ahmed Lawal said he will consolidate on the success of the 7th Senate if elected as Senate President.
The Senate, everywhere in the world, is known to be the stabilizing chamber in any democracy. And thank God I've been in the Senate for the last 8 years, after a sojourn of 8 years in the House of Reps. I believe that this time, the 8th Senate should be a Senate where independence of the legislature will be a key thing, and cooperative governance and partnership and cooperation with the executive arm of government will be enhanced. We have had about 8 years of stability in the Senate, and therefore is something that I would like to build on.
Senator Lawal also explained that he has gathered the experience that we require in the 8th Senate.
I've never been a presiding officer, in fact, not even a principal officer anywhere in the two chambers. I believe that I've learned a lot from the presiding officers in the House, where I had to watch the experience of 3 speakers of the House. And I've also watched and closely, very closely related with the current presiding officers of the Senate. I've done that for the last 8 years. So I believe that I have garnered sufficient experience to deal with issues. As for tensions, I'm not praying for tensions, but I believe that sometimes in the legislature, tempers may rise high. We will always try to control. In fact, we will try to be as proactive as possible.
For the Red Chamber, only the senators will determine who will lead the affair of the Senate, while in the House of Representatives, the honorable member, after the inauguration, will determine who will be their speakers. From the National Assembly Abuja, Muyiwa Bamidele reporting. The 7th section of the Nigerian Senate says it has recorded tremendous achievement in the last 4 years. The chairman, Senate Rule and Business Committee, Senator Ethan Enang, stated this at a news conference over the weekend in Abuja. Senator Ethan Enang explained that total number of 128 bills were passed by the Senate in the last 4 years, while several others were at various stages of legislative processes.
The summary of the number of bills, of the details of the bills, the number of bills, the motions, the petitions and other legislative measures were given to you by the Senate President in his valedictory address. It was given. But the titles of each of the bills that made up the numbers is what I'm releasing to you.
The senator also explained that the record of the 7th Senate proceeding has become a reference material for Nigerians, especially the new 8th Senate.
And to enable you to make appropriate judgments. And again, it will also enable the incoming senators and legislators and legislative activists to know the bills that have been passed, the ones that were introduced but they were not concluded, the ones that were stood at different stages of conclusion.
A total number of 585 bills were introduced on the floor of the Senate between June 2011 and June 2015. From National Assembly Complex, Abuja, Muyiwa Bamidele reporting.
A political pressure group, Credible Alternative Alliance, has faulted the president's decision to commission a study to identify the root causes of Boko Haram insurgency and their sponsors at the end of hostilities when the group is subdued. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, National Coordinator CAA Damian Obodna, who read the group's speech, said the decision would be a violation of his campaign promises.
The president might ask the president how he intends to subdue Boko Haram if the enabling conditions are not ameliorated and the sponsors are not stopped. What happens if the insurgency outlasts the tenure of the president? Does it then mean that he will leave office without any attempt to identify, arrest, and prosecute the sponsors of the group? We call on the president to rethink this policy as a matter of urgency.
They also cautioned President Muhammadu Buhari against relying on foreign support, saying it will not better the laws of Nigerians.
Now, if as a political party you don't know that, then you are not even qualified to win an election. Before a political party starts campaign, they need to know precisely what it is they are campaigning for, where it is they want to take the nation if they win. That is the only way they can be successful. You don't wait until you get into government and then you start figuring out policy. No, policies are figured out before you even start campaigning. So it is not, we're not in a haste because they are a sitting government. We expected them to come into power having their policies in place. And it appears they don't have it. And so we are in a situation where Nigeria scores with the patcham, just patching it.
And we want to encourage this government to perform. We want to encourage this government to succeed. Because if the government doesn't succeed, I think this will be our last time for hoping for anything in Nigeria. Because we have been having governments that have not been able to perform for a long time. So if we have the opportunity, we'll rather support a government than oppose it.
The group called on the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to take the lead in being the major opposition so as to strengthen the country's democracy. From Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.
Governments at all levels have been called upon to partner with private sector in transitioning from Millennium Development Goals to Sustainable Development Goals. Former Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Dr. Ajo Sani, made a call at the third Community Voice Policy Forum in Abuja.
Private investment in inclusive business models and impact industries have the potential to create jobs, add value such as through the application of innovative technologies, processes, and skills, and extend a broader range of social and economic services to marginalized communities, such as those in the rural areas.
In his submission at the seminar, Kachi Okeze spelled out the importance of the gathering.
We run this network. It was launched last year. The network came about, it's called the Learn Share Network. It came about because we found that people lack information about key policy issues that concern them. And so it's part of contributing to the overall agenda of public education, public enlightenment. And we, at the launch, we talked about a common partnership with the media. It's important to have the populace educated, made aware of issues that concern them. Be it say something like financial education, for example. It's been said that one of the best ways to regulate the financial sector is to educate those who use the services in the financial sector.
Muyo Bamdele reporting from Abuja.
Nigeria have climbed 2 steps in the latest FIFA ranking released recently. The country is now 43rd in the world, gaining 22 points in the month under review to be on 681 points. The new position puts the 2013 African Cup of Nations winners as 7th best in Africa behind Algeria, 21st. Reigning African champions Ivory Coast, 24th. Tunisia, 29th. Ghana, 34th. Senegal, 36th. And Cape Verde Island, 38th. Guinea, 45th, Congo, 47th, and Cameroon, 49th, complete the CAF top 10. World champions Germany are still top of the table with 1,775 points, followed by European champions Belgium and Argentina, runners-up at the last Mondial in 2nd and 3rd places respectively.